Well, hello and welcome to What Crappens, a podcast for all that crap we love to talk about on ye old bros. I'm Ronnie. That's Ben. He's hot. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How's it going?
Good. I'm back in Texas today for the week. So I've got my normal lights and my normal little set behind me instead of the basement bedroom that I've been living in for the past 3 months. And it's so nice, everybody. Look how young I look. Look how everything changes when you have the proper lighting and proper filters and cameras, darling. So I feel great.
Good.
Totally feel like I'm going to get laid today on the computer. So glad to be here. Everybody, thanks for joining us. As usual, well, not as usual. Sometimes this is the OC recap, but as usual, this is on video. You can find it every day with our other videos over on patreon.com. It's so fun to watch them. You should do that. Go do it. If you don't want to, but you just want bonus episodes, go to our Patreon as well, because that's where you get those. Also, Monday is Crappy Hour. That is our live YouTube live show. We stream it on Instagram too, but it's mostly YouTube live. If you want to come talk to us, that's at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. It's all Bravo gossip. Also, this week we went on the Tamara and Teddy, 2 T's and a Twats and a T podcast. And I don't want to really run that into the ground because who cares? But I did want to say something about that because I've come to realize, I was reading a comment that said, and by the way, the reaction was fine. I'm not even complaining about the reaction. Don't give each other shit on how you're allowed to have your opinions about the show. Don't give each other shit. Like, you shouldn't react that way. But one of the reactions that I read that I didn't like was, there's such a sellout. If you ask them, who's your least favorite housewife, and Ronnie doesn't immediately say Kyle, he's selling out. Or like he's kissing their ass and whatever, watering himself down. They cut that. I would like you to know, I will have you know, that I got into a public altercation with Teddy Mellencamp over Kyle, because of course my answer was my least favorite is Kyle. I said, Kyle sucks! Kyle sucks! And we had a big fight about it, and Tamara had to break it up. And then I was like, I wonder why no one commented on that. And they cut it from the podcast. Teddy, you absolute wuss of a woman. Wuss! You're a wuss! Thank you. My announcement portion is done.
Ronnie,
you can speak now.
Ronnie and Teddy started to get into it because Ronnie was like, "Oh, Kyle," but you were saying like, "Well, you know, Kyle, she's so calculating. She called the paparazzi and Mauricio in the airport," and she was like, "Hi, I'm Teddy. That's absolutely not true. Do you really think that she would do that?" And then you're like, "Yes, she did. She definitely called the paparazzi." And then Teddy was like, "She definitely did not call the paparazzi." And you guys were going back and forth, and Tamara had to go, "Okay, enough."
She did the Taylor Armstrong enough. I mean, basically, I was saying I hate Kyle. She said, why? I said, because she's so manipulative. She throws rocks and hides her hands, and she gets other people to do her dirty work for her, as you just deleted the segment from your podcast to protect her. You see? And then we talked about, I said, and then people are accusing her of paparazzi. Well, notice that stopped except for Kyle stories. And she's like, name one. The first one I could think of was the Mauricio one in the airport. Okay, that's not the strongest example, but okay, anything Morgan Wade. Who cares about Morgan Wade? I've never seen someone turn a latent in life homosexuality story into such a boring chapter in their life. Get out of here. And why'd you cut it, you wuss? Okay, so anyway.
Wait, do we know for sure that they cut it?
Yeah, they cut
confirmed?
Well, I've been reading it in comments that people said, who's your least favorite housewife? And then they cut away to something else. My answer is not there. So yes, it was Teddy, of course. My favorite housewife was Vanderpump, and my least favorite was Kyle.
I think I put down Peggy Sulahan as my least favorite.
Yeah.
I think that's what I said. I think that probably still made the podcast.
Probably, yeah. But anyway, just so you know, I'm not going to go in there and not pretend that I'm not going to go in there and pretend that Kyle's amazing because we're on some podcast. Give me a fucking break. Okay, so anyway, let's get to OC. How you feeling, Ben?
I'm feeling energized after that opening rant. I'm feeling great. I was cracking up this episode as usual. It's jumping way ahead, but like the fact that you could have an episode, where it's like, can you believe John Jansen's actually trying to blackmail Shannon Medora? That's extortion. Anyway, I had to wear jeans. There was literally that hairpin turn in this episode, and I just was cracking up. The show is so good. I kind of feel like, in a weird way, I'm not going to say that the show is buried being on a Thursday, because Bravo has had many shows on Thursdays that have been super, super buzzworthy. You know, Summer House has been thriving on Thursdays and Southern Charm. But it feels weird to have OC all the way on a Thursday instead of like a Tuesday or a Sunday.
It's a Monday show, right? I feel like, well, I guess Below Deck for a while has been Mondays, but I feel like OC for a while was Mondays. I don't know. It feels like an early in the week.
It's just sort of strange. I just feel like it's such a buzzworthy show that it kind of should be at the front of the week where people can talk about it all week. But I don't know, maybe that logic doesn't stand up anymore because like I said, Southern Charm and Summer House generated a huge amount of buzz on Thursday nights. I don't know. But I think it's a great show. I don't know if people are talking about it or not, but I think OC is having a great season.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about it. Who cares? We're all talking. Us in our circle are talking. Our friends here at Watch What Crappens, we're talking about it. Who else matters? Like, who literally is out there? People are talking about shit in the world. I'm just like, who cares about this stuff? I mean, all this politics stuff, whatever. The world is burning down around your head anyway. It has been for 2 decades. Enjoy the fucking housewives. Like, really, all of you calm down with your flags in your yard and your trucks running over people and your whatever you're doing out there. You don't need to go out and hug each other. You know what would solve this world? If someone was like, is Tamara a terrorist? Yes or no? Are we standing for or against terrorism? Let's join there. I think we could all come together as a country.
I mean, Tamara was shockingly not stirring the pot that much this episode. This was really...
No, she was dropping the bomb and blaming Hezbollah. You see how she does it? She drops the bomb named Alexis, and then she runs away like, oh my God, I can't believe a bomb's going off. I better hide in here. I say, hey, bombs. It's like, you lit the bomb. You brought the bomb. You lit it. And now you're hiding in the kitchen like you hate bombs. This is your bomb.
I don't think... Listen, when Tamara stirs the pot, we know. I think that Tamara was pretty chill this episode. I'm not just saying that because we did a crossover episode, so everyone don't accuse me of selling out. And honestly, you can. I really don't care. But I don't think that Tamara was actually too nefarious this week.
Okay, well, let's go to OC 1811 Singled Out, it's called. So Gina is coming to Shannon's and she's like, oh my God, I should bring a gift and there's a lemon tree. So I'm going to get lemons, maybe not 9 lemons. That's a thing from the show, 9 lemons. I'm going to get 2 lemons. So then she goes into the house. She's like, I found lemons, not 9 lemons. It's like, oh my God, is that your fucking shtick that you came up with 20 minutes ago that you've been practicing? Just hand over the lemons, lady.
Of course, Gina would steal someone's lemons from their tree. Whereas if someone were to take something, she'd be like, who just does that? Like, that's like a listing of mine, and I worked really hard, and someone just stole the lemons off the tree. Like, someone lives there.
It's going to be so hard to sell that listing now that there's lemon thieves. You are taking food out of the mouths of my children. Me. She's yelling at herself. I just love the irony of the lemon of the show picking up a lemon.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know what? When life gives you lemons, you have lemons. So Gina's like, she brings them over, and
Gina's like, if life gives you lemons, then go to the grocery store and buy frozen lemonade for your children because making lemonade's too hard. Sorry, I'm still not over the ragu pizza sauce that she was making in her house.
If life gives you lemons, just hold them and say, I feel bad.
I feel bad. That life gave me lemons.
Why couldn't life give me another fruit? I only have lemons.
Why is life taking food out of the mouths of my children?
By the way, what is this? Why do we assail lemons with this reputation of being the clunkers? What about lemons are so incredibly useful at all times. Anytime I go to the store, I always make sure to pick up lemons. Although ironically today I didn't. I only got limes. But the point is, how many recipes call for lemon? How many call for lemon zest, lemon juice, lemon to everything? We want lemon scented cleaning products. We want lemon this. We want lemon that. And yet the moment we have a shitty car, we're like, oh, what a fucking lemon. It's we act like lemons are just the bargain basement bottom shit citrus balls of devil evil hell pucks, And lemons are wonderful. I think we have to really rethink our idiomatic use of lemons.
I get lemons because, people say they don't like them because they're sour, but they still want them around all the time. So, you can't just have me to give you a couple laughs and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, don't date Ronnie. He's sour. Yeah, that's the point, fucker. It's taken a long time to work on this sourness. I love you,
I just
Lemons.
feel
Hugs, Lemons.
I feel like
that's why I was so
honestly,
mad when Melissa Gorga had a lemon party. I was like, back the fuck up away from lemons. That is my fruit.
I feel like if we're gonna go into the grocery store and find a piece of produce, if we're gonna find a category of produce that's supposed to represent things going awry or things being lame or things not working, I think it should be zucchini.
Oh, I think it should
Just
be
wet
avocado.
and sad. Avocado?
Yeah, but I think zucchini is a valid answer too. Now that you say wet and sad, because zucchini really does wetten up pretty quickly. It's like okay for a day, and then it's like, oh, I'm leaking. Oh, I'm turning into water. And you're like, why are you all over the bottom of my drawer? Like you were a stick yesterday, and now you're like melted. You're weird. You're in a fucking refrigerator. You can't keep it together. Come on, zucchini.
You cannot find anyone who truly loves zucchini.
No,
People
the
go
most
out of their
offensive
way.
thing in life is zucchini pasta. I think zoodles. Oh,
Zoodles.
fuck off with your zoodles. And yes, I've bought a zoodler. I was one of those people who was like going to zoodle church every day and pretending that I could hear the voice of zucchini. Okay, I was one of those people. No. One day I had to say, you know what, this isn't real. And my life has been better.
Speaking in
ever
songs.
since. I've been sinning with potatoes ever since. And
Let me tell you
bread
something.
and gluten pasta.
I'm 99% with you on that one, except over the summer, I did go to a restaurant and had a zucchini pasta that was actually out of this world. I was like, there is hope for it. And then I went home and I tried to make it myself, and it was the most nasty thing I'd ever made. I was like, it requires a lot of skill. But the point is this. People will make zucchini bread, which tastes great, or fried zucchini. But zucchini itself, people don't love zucchini, and it's always lame, and it's always sad. And if you get like a CSA box and it's full of zucchini, you're just like, now what do I do? You know, and it's always there. It's so needy. It's like the thing that grows the most easily in a garden. That's why people always have so much zucchini around.
It's like delicious weeds. Yum.
Yeah. Whereas lemon, it's just like beautiful. Like you keep lemons as decoration. Shan Mador keeps them as a bowl. They have actually. They help your feng shui. They look good. They smell good. There's nothing about lemons that are bad. They taste sour. Since when is sour bad? Sour is great. We need to change this.
Yeah. Okay, so Archie is in there just panting away. And, God knows what Archie's thinking. Poor Archie. Just like, I would run if I could. But I can't. And it's like, oh my God, hi, Archie. I got 2 lemons. Not 9, but I got 2. He's like, oh. Gina's here.
Wow, the real zucchini of the cast showed up. So Gina comes in and everything, and Shannon's like pretending that she's really happy, like she's not in the process of being blackmailed through the courts. And she's like, "Oh, hi, oh wow, oh this is great. This is wonderful. Oh my God. So let's talk about happy things. How's Tres Amigas, or is it Dos Amigas? Huh?" And she's like, "Oh well, people really enjoyed it, and I'm very excited, and we're gonna take the nation by storm. I'm very happy."
Yeah, we're going to St. Louis, and she's telling us we created a business with the Tres Amigas. We have an LLC. It's real. We had merchandise.
Filed paperwork.
All of a sudden, here that Tamra was out through our manager was devastating. And then so we see them having like a meeting with Doug Budin up there. Is he the producer? Because that's hilarious. Doug is so nice. I think they need a producer. Doug, I think you need to be like, no. I think Doug learns to just say no. And you know what? I haven't even seen that show, but I know that Doug is a lovely man. And I know that he would not tell them no. And I already know that they need to see it. I've only seen clips of it, and I needed somebody to tell them no. Already, when they do the Tres Amigas dance in sombreros, Doug, where were you? You know what I mean?
Well,
no, you should have said no. You should have been there saying no, sir.
Well, he is. I think, he is. It seems like he's like their producer, but also their live event MC. Which is kind of funny. And so we see them FaceTiming with Doug to get some ideas. And Vicky's like, well, we did so much work with all this stuff, and we paid all that money. Like, could we do it with a big clown face over Tamara's face in the videos? And she's like, no, Vicky, stop that. No, absolutely no. We're not going to put a clown face on Tamara. Instead, we're going to put a giant splotch on there and say, redacted, bitch.
And then guess what Doug says? No. I was like, wow, this guy can take notes. I just wanted him to say no, and then he came back and immediately said no. He said no because I feel like you got to make this your own, girls. Make it your own. And she's like, oh well, Gina, would you like to come upstairs? That's one thing Tamara hasn't quit on, thankfully. Thankfully, Tamara wasn't a partner in building these stairs, or there would be no way to show you the master bedroom.
Good thing I didn't start an LLC with Tamara about going up the staircase.
Stairs, LLC. Oh! I just fell down into
An
the
LLC, limited liability, limited liability corporation, more like limited friendship corporation. Should be called LFC.
Well, I signed an LLC with Tamara, and I immediately wanted out when I found out it meant Limited Limoncello Corporation. I said, how dare you? I'm not an alcoholic.
Well, it's, I do hear an LLC is David Bedore's favorite kind of corporation because it has limited liability, which is what I refer to him in our relationship as being. I'm sad now.
So Shanna's like, wow, the Tres Amigas had a formula. We had a formula. It was working. It was basically like Cats. And then the cats quit. What's the show going to be about now?
I mean, what do you do? How do you have cats if the tire doesn't go up into the ceiling? Am I right? So it's like the tire broke.
You can't have cats without the C word. Then it's just ats. Wants to see that. A bunch of email addresses. I mean, what is this?
It's like having cats and Grisabella gets amnesia. How does she do her big number?
Mem line.
Memories? What are those? What's this concept called memories? I don't have any memories.
So they go up to a room filled with clothes on garment racks, and Gina's like, oh my God, has Heather given you a wardrobe? No, Gina, this is what people with a lot of clothes use to hang them in their room. Oh.
Wow, this is so nice up here. There's like built-in acrylic finishes, and there's like a fireplace, and there's like a wall and like a ceiling. Oh, it sounds like real estate Gina is here. Oh my God, sorry, I'm being like so professional. I guess it just comes out of me,
What are acrylic finishes? I don't even know what those are.
Well, based on what I saw visually, because then of course I like stopped and looked, it looked like Shannon had built-ins, and it looked like sort of like the surfaces were like acrylic.
Like paint?
No, I think it was
just means like a hard. Does it mean like a hard, shiny finish?
It looked like it was like they had put on like a coating of acrylic, so that way it's when you see like if you go to like a Sephora, I think there's like a lot of acrylic finishes. It's shiny and plasticky looking,
like epoxy resin type.
Epoxy resin.
Is it like epoxy resin?
Is it like epoxy resin?
That's what I'm obsessed with. I keep watching these Pinterests that people. Oh, I mean, I've been watching them for years, and I watched them years ago on a plane, and so now they come up all the time. So every month or so, I'm like, oh my God, I should do an epoxy resin something. But you know what that stuff is, where you mix it and then you pour it, and it's clear, but it hardens like a rock. And I saw one where people put flowers all over the bathroom ground, and then they poured epoxy over it, so it's just like a field of flowers as your bathroom. I mean, it's so cool. I want to do stuff like that. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, guys. But guess what? I'm into epoxy resin. Tell your friends.
John Jansen just sent me a bill for $375 for epoxy resin that apparently I put in his dining room. So I'm a little traumatized by it.
Okay, so she's giving a tour of this house, and now we get to the real talk, which is cute because Shanna's trying to do that thing like, look at me, just having a happy scene and not trying to make this about drama at all, or myself, or how upset I am. Okay, so what happened when I was in Sonoma? And Gina's like, well, it's real interesting because Katie told Heather that I was only friends with Heather for her real estate connections. Can you believe it?
Well, that's absurd. I mean, you're already with a team, a low-level team that sells split-level 2-bedroom houses on the fringes of Orange County. So why would you even be close to being able to touch Heather's real estate connections? I think we all understand that.
And she's like, yeah, me and Katie got into it. Yeah, Katie. And I was, first of all, I worked so hard for the business I get. Heather's brought me nothing in the way of real estate. Which is that true? I mean, Heather already does have one Nepo baby, which is her own son, who she is now foisted upon the real estate industry and expected him to get multi-million-dollar deals, which he is getting. He's working with, I think, Altman,
Josh
right?
Altman. Yeah.
So she's already got one Nepo baby. She doesn't, I mean, in that field, she's got 6 Nepo babies or whatever, but she can't take care of you too.
Gina is just outside Heather's gates, putting her hands through in a cup, being like, "Come, please serve me something. Give me Daisy Fuentes' phone number, please." So Shannon's like, she's like, "Well, yeah, but you're with a team." She's like, "That's what I'm saying." And then like, yeah, we got into it and Heather's brought me nothing. Well, maybe she heard that and took a different interpretation of it. I'm not saying that you misinterpret things, but let's just remind the audience that we did spend about 2 years fighting, especially when you accused me of trying to take away your children, when all I was doing was forming a hypothetical when I was enraged over Taco Tuesday going in the shitter.
2 years, more like 7 years. How long has she been on this show, Gina? 5 years? 10 years?
Feels like 45 years that Gina's been
Gina's
around.
been here so long.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
So then we go have a flashback to Sonoma and saying that she's going to let it go. But basically, she's like, I want to rebuild with Katie. That's a real estate term, for those of you who didn't know. But I got to be cautious, okay?
So then Katie meets up with Emily at a place called Vitali Cafe. It's like Vital, or it's like Vitali. It's like Vital and Italy combined together. It's like the most, if you want to have a Vital coffee, but also feel like you're in Italy, but not at all, go to Vitali Cafe.
Yeah, it's like healthy. It's like even healthier caprese salads, because that's what Katie gets. And let's see. So Jen is like, guys, I have to pay. So I'm going to pay because, like, I have to pay. Everybody's like talking about how poor I am all the time. And you guys always pay for me because you feel bad for me. And so I'm going to pay. And I was like, I'm going to Venmo you. Come on. It's ridiculous.
Now, this is very sweet of Jen to do so. It's great as a friend that she's stepping up to pay, but it's also hilarious that it's like they go to places like Nobu, etc. She's like, guys, since we're here at Vitali Cafe, let me buy your avocado toast. Your $8 avocado
that's how you do it around rich people. You're like, hey, Black, have you ever heard of a McDonald's? It's amazing. Let me take you there and pay.
I got this one, guys. Well, I guess it's my turn. Okay, well, it's so funny. It happened during the caprese lunch.
Hey, listen, we all do what we can afford. You know what I mean?
Oh, listen. Yeah. Oh, that was me like circa 2010 when I was living off of the income of Google ads on B-Side blog. It was like, who wants a caprese salad? Okay, I got you guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, but also they need to be making the show pay. Why is Jen paying? It's weird. So then she's also opening herself up to more like lame poor jokes from Emily, who's such a fucker. She's like, oh, it's a nice gesture, but she can't pay her rent. So maybe she can't pay her rent, but at least she can afford a coffee. I can't wait to cry in about 5 minutes about how hurt my feelings are about something while I poor shame someone for the 3rd month in a row.
So they sit down and Jen's like, well, I feel like I haven't caught up with you guys, the kids. Hey, Emily, what's going on with Annabelle? Oh my God, I've been on this show for 6 years and no one's ever asked me. Finally. So we see Emily Annabelle is like a total ham. And we see these text messages that she sends Emily that are like, mom. Like, isn't she hilarious?
Yeah, she's like, yeah, she's, basically Shane 2.0, What? Wait, she said Shane calls her Emily 2.0. No, I misunderstood that when I saw it because I remembered it as her being, she is Shane 2.0. She looks like Shane and she's obnoxious like Shane. I feel like Shane would do that. Like she puts one text that says H and then it goes bloop and then she puts the E, bloop, L, bloop, L, bloop, O, bloop, O, bloop, O, bloop. That is Shane in text form. Hey. Hi. God damn it, Shane.
Listen, Shane popped the question over Gmail, so this is a family that communicates its most important messages.
It wasn't even over Gmail. It was over GChat. That's worse.
Sorry, that's what I meant, GChat.
Sorry. It's like the inter-office chat.
Slack.
He couldn't even
It's
Slack
on Slack.
No, he wouldn't even spring for Slack. It was like the Google version. Oh, so sad.
So Jen's like, so Emily's like, she is by far my hardest child, and I just, here's where I go wrong. I didn't have very much growing up, so I overcompensate by doing everything to her and giving her everything she wants. You see, because of my mom, I was a latchkey kid. And Jen thankfully is like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna change it over to me. So that's kind of the spot I'm in with Dawson. He doesn't see it any other way. And it's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, at some point, Doss, you got to want this for yourself, Doss.
Yeah. And then we see doodle-doo, a flashback where she sat down with Dawson. And he's like, the moment we moved into Ryan's, it's like all of a sudden I have a curfew, like be home at 9:30. And she's like, well, like we do need some stuff in place, right, Doss? I mean, come on, Doss. That's how we have to do it. I mean, listen, you're named after a very outdated computer program, but I'm going to need to keep you up to date somehow. Okay?
And then a week earlier, oh my God, Ryan is blowing up my phone. He said Dawson's banged on the door at midnight. Oh my God, they shouldn't be up at that late on a school night, bitch. But yeah, that's right. It's a school night. I see him going down a path and it's not good. It's like, Tamara, like your son, Ryan, I see Dawson going down that path. That's terrible.
Well, except, hating less of trans people, less Trumpy, hopefully.
Yeah.
less cowboy role play. And more, okay, yeah, he's nothing like your son. I don't think we should put Dawson on the Ryan path. The Ryan path is a horrible path. Also, we've seen on this show, specifically this show, Orange County, when the wives on Orange County are like, my children are not going down a good path, it ends terribly. It is not. No, I don't think there's ever been a child on this show that people are like, wow, they're going down a bad path, and then it ends well for that guy, except maybe the baseball player one. I think he ended up doing fairly well. Like he kind of evened out. But yeah, like this show has a lot of tragedy with the kids, and they're really highlighting the kids today, which is good. And I think it works out for the most part. But this one, I was like, yeah, listen to your mom because you're on Orange County and it's not looking good for you. Get your shit together, Doss. Okay.
I think you could make an argument that the kids on Orange County really turn out the worst out of all the shows. Maybe Atlanta, maybe in second place. Maybe that's a distant second place. Orange County is really where there's like, it's bad news over here.
Even Brianna went fucking crazy, and she was one of the good ones. Look at her now, trying to sell like fucking essential oils and all that shit, and like only eating raw liver and not getting her shots. Whatever she's doing over there is not good.
Yeah, so like Jen does need to have an intervention with Dawson because I feel like in Orange County when the kids don't turn out right, they're like zucchini in a zucchini that's hanging around pavilions way too long. Like
if a parent on the OC looks down into their shopping cart of children and says that one's the zucchini, you're fucked. Okay,
you're fucked. Anyway, Doss. Yeah, Jen says that she does an extra prayer for Dawson, which, by the way, that's such a polite, sweet way of saying my kid's fucked up.
I do an extra prayer for him. No, you need an extra spanking, okay? And if he's too old to spank, you need an extra, refusing to give him money that he's using to go out at midnight, okay?
How about you say an extra prayer for his split part hair that he's got, because that's the new thing, right? Broccoli hair is heading out, split part from the 90s.
I know, we knew it because that guy West from Summer House is like 35 or whatever he is, and he's trying to like have the latest 16-year-old boy's hairstyle because he's on Summer House. And so first he had that terrible mushroom hair, and then he immediately switched over to the alfalfa split. So I knew that that's the new haircut that 16-year-olds are wearing. When wash-ups on Bravo, first season washouts on Bravo or wash-ups on Bravo are wearing the hair that's next for the teens.
I start seeing things that like I failed my kids in: chores, consequences. It really jumps to consequences so quickly. She's like, yeah, I just never give consequences to my kids. So I just need to lay the hammer down. And honestly, I don't even know how to do that. It's a lost cause. Okay, Jen, just start saving up for the rehab bills.
Yeah, and don't let him manipulate you emotionally. But we can see very soon that that's not going to really work out for her. So she's telling them, yeah, I talked to Dawson. I asked to have a conversation, and he said yes, guys. He said yes. First of all, that's your you don't ask him to have a conversation. Tell him to sit his ass down, and you're taking his car away, and to listen his ass up. I think it's time for a little tough love over here.
You're gonna cut off one half of the part.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna shave his head,
but only one half.
Yeah.
Stay on the
So, and by the way, to all those mothers out there, I know there's a lot of you listening. Isn't it wonderful listening to two people with no children talk about mothering? We literally have no idea. I'm like, it's easy. Here's how you do it. We know that we don't know what we're talking about. So
listen, a lot of people have a lot of opinions about our lives.
Yeah, but I mean, especially childhood. It's like, child rearing, I guess, rearing.
You know what? The moment that people stop pestering you, Ronnie, about like being single is the moment that we will stop weighing in on mothering.
So Jen's like, yeah, I'm so excited he's gonna talk to me. It's great. So Emily's like, what's going on with you, Gina? Have you seen Katie? And she's asking Katie if she's seen Gina. I'm sorry. And so she's like, I haven't heard from her. Not a text, anything. Here's what I can tell you. The wind is coming from the east at about 5 miles an hour. Shouldn't affect the balls too bad, but let's wait and see.
I'll tell you, that last day in Sonoma, her and Shannon, they left the night before, and it was so nice. It was like the whole time we had to be separated. Well, that's not Shannon's fault. Shannon is being sued by John Jansen. And then on top of that, Gina is the one who drops the bomb to Shannon, ruins the entire vacation by telling Shannon about these videos, et cetera. So all of a sudden it's like, oh, thank God Shannon left because it sucked when she was there. It's like, you guys made it suck. You guys tortured her.
Yeah. So then they're like, well, Shannon felt so supported. That was so nice. And Emily's like, yeah, there was a lot of support. And did we get a text about the party? And Jen's like, no. Because we get a flashback to the previous day where Jen is talking about her party with Katie. And she's like, I want to have you guys over. You girls are such good girls, and I want you to see the space that's Ryan's space. It's also my space, it's my home. And I want you to be there. Would you consider it? Thank you so much. I'm having a thank you so much party.
Poor Jen, trying to, get her life back together, but invoking my space at the same time. It just really shows how she has so far to go. So Katie is like, yeah, no, it's your space. Yeah, I can't wait to go. So Jen is like, she's like, yeah, no, Shannon didn't respond back, but what I was thinking? She's doing her thing with Katie, with Vicky. So maybe maybe that's why she's not going to come. And so now we cut to Shannon and Gina. And Shannon's like, well, I just want to tell you, my attorney called me last night and I said, have we heard anything from John's attorney? Because he went back to him and said, you are flipping blackmailing now with this video thing. And he said, yes, they're actually standing on the fact that they want those videos for blackmail purposes. Their exact words were, John needs some sort of insurance policy in case Shannon goes off the rails. Well, my attorney says he's going to file the lawsuit against me.
Who is your lawyer? Not Shannon, but who is John Jansen's lawyer that they're confessing over text? Text or email saying, oh, nope, sorry, but we're going to need that as an insurance policy. That is literally extortion, you fucking idiots. And I also love the idea that Shannon she has an attorney that talks just like her. Your Honor, I am flipping upset about this. Flipping objection. Freaking fluking turd. I will not take this anymore.
Isn't the insurance policy in case Shannon goes off the rails the legal agreement and the settlement? Isn't that if she violates the terms of the legal settlement that she will then be in trouble with law? Isn't that the insurance policy and not
that's
the
true.
ring cam video?
Because it's a mutual disparagement disagreement. So it's not just saying that John can't talk. It's also saying that Shannon can't talk about John. So if that's what he really cared about, this would have solved that. But it's not what he cares about. We all know from seeing him on the red carpet to, whatever, zestfully clean new scent that he really cares about the fame the most.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that legal implications are the insurance policy for terms of a settlement.
So Emily, she's a lawyer, and we know because she's reading law off of her cell phone from Google. She's like, well, under the California Penal Code, Section 8, extortion's a criminal offense where the defendant threatens to expose the secret of another person. So John's threat of the video sure sounds very extortion-like.
Now, on to something equally as important. Can I ask your guys' opinion on something? When we were in Sonoma and we did the fashion show, my dress was a size 12. And by the way, I'm not a size 12. I just want to say that we're not talking about the extortion anymore, right? We could talk about my dresses.
And Jen's like, wait, what? Are you being serious? There's such thing as size 12?
Because Jen, when she goes, my dress was like a size 12. She's like, oh my God. Because Jen thinks it's like a joke, like an exaggeration. Like Emily was put in a size 12. Like it's as if you'd said size 5,000 to Jen. Like it's such a high number. She can't even conceive of it outside of a joke. And then she goes, oh wait, are you being serious? Yes, I'm being serious. I was in a size 12. And then Alexis had the same dress, but hers was like a size 2 or 4. Like totally tiny and fit her perfectly. I just felt like I was going to court.
Which I could do because I'm a lawyer. And then we see footage of Alexis and Emily in the same dress. And Alexis marches down the runway confidently. And Emily, I guess, doesn't. But from what my recollection of seeing this is that Emily looked great. Am I remembering this?
I mean, in the footage, she definitely looks like she's wearing clothing, looks a little more businessy. I don't know if why that's a bad thing, though, in a fashion show. Like,
I mean, I get her sensitivity. This gets tricky, right? Because I mean, I do get the sensitivity behind it, but from the footage they showed, she looked great, and then they showed her in like an oversized coat at one point. But that is kind of a fashion. And they also showed Tamara wearing a jacket like that. So I'm not sure, but I understand the sensitivity. And I guess at the end of the day, Heather should understand the sensitivity, and she doesn't at all. And we'll see later when she's called out on it, doubles down and gets even fucking worse. Because at this point, I was like, well, I don't know. This is kind of iffy. Like, I get your sensitivity, but I don't think anyone meant to hurt your feelings. But by the end of it, I'm like, wow, Heather's still fucking terrible. Wow. I forget sometimes how terrible Heather is. She's tricked me this whole season because usually I'm anti-Heather for every little thing. And this season, I'm like, no, she's been fun. She's been chill and just funny. But wow, yeah, she really gets bad.
Yeah, I mean, Emily's look was definitely more, as Katie said, well, you looked professional, and maybe I'm assuming I don't know enough of what the fashion show was. Was this supposed to be like different looks for different?
No, it was supposed to be basic tees. It was back to basics, like the basic white tee, the basic black shirt, the basic black jeans, and the basic leather pants.
But was the fashion show to be like, this is a look for going out to dinner. Here's how you can use a basic at work. Here's how you can use a basic for like athleisure. And so I don't know.
Here's how a basic keeps her job for 7 years. It's just Gina in her normal outfit.
Gina stealing lemons outside on the sidewalk. So I don't know what the context was, but what I do sense is that obviously Emily has been working on her body, and she's really kind of like leaning into, being sexy, or she's feeling sexier, and she probably wanted to sort of show herself as like sexier. And instead she got more of a buttoned up look, and it's caused her to spiral.
Yeah, I mean, they show one shot of her coming out in like black jeans and a black shirt, like taking off her jacket and like throwing it behind her back and looking really sexy. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess we all see different things, when we look at ourselves. So Emily's like, well, I thought she did that because I was too big to fit in anything she had, and that hurt. And I like went to the bathroom and I had a little mini breakdown into my taco. It's the only thing I had in my purse. It was supposed to be a funny prop, but things got dark in that bathroom.
I felt like again I wasn't fitting in, and you know what I mean, and no one wants to feel that. Everyone wants to feel like they can fit into clothes. I just don't think that Heather is malicious in this circumstance, but I do think Heather is just unaware of how much work and time and effort I've put into myself.
And she's like, well, maybe she just thought, let's put Emily in the leather pants. I just wish she saw that I worked hard and was like, let's put Emily in leather pants. And she says, I feel like Heather just looks at me as the big girl. And they're like, oh my God, Emily. And she's like, they're like, I'm sorry you feel that way. And she's like, am I unreasonable? I guess that's my question.
She says, no, listen, Emily, you feel how you feel. You can't help that. You can't help feeling that. And Emily's like, I don't know. Maybe I can have a conversation with her. But let me tell you, I'm just very emotional. I'm very up and down. By the way, I just got testosterone implant put into my butt.
Yeah. And so she doesn't know she's emotional because of the testosterone in her butt.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So then we go. I'm going to reserve my judgment on this until we get deeper into the conversation, because it's an interesting conversation to have. At this point, I'm thinking Emily's like kind of being too sensitive. And also Emily does tend to like take one little thing and try and make a big storyline out of it because she's got nothing. I mean, she's had her mom shit again this year. She's like kind of struggling. So I'm like, is this really the thing? Like, I don't need this. Part of me at this point, and this is with someone with serious weight problems and eating disorders, me talking. So maybe I'm wrestling with some of my own stuff too. But at this point in the episode, I'm thinking it's not really anybody's responsibility. If we don't want people commenting on our weight when we're bigger, it's not their responsibility to comment on it when we're smaller either. Like there's kind of that rule right now where you're not supposed to talk about people's body weight no matter what, right? Like if someone's lost a lot of weight, you're not supposed to say you lost a lot of weight, because that's still commenting on their weight, which is a tricky one for me. But I don't know. That's kind of where I am now. I'm kind of confused. It changes as we go on. So stay tuned for Bipolar Switches of Opinion by Rondo.
So now we go over to Beverly Hills. Heather is getting glam on and everything, and she's like, I am getting ready for the GLAAD Awards. I'm so excited. We're going to have an incredible time with a fabulous team, and we've got celebrity iconic jeweler Martin Katz giving me all the gems, and look in the corner, there's Kyle Chan trying to climb through the window to get on camera too.
And she's like, wow, Martin, because she's making content or something with the jeweler. She's like, hello, Martin, it's me, completely television natural, Heather Dubrow Kent. Now, Martin, am I going to get some real gems today to wear? And he goes, you are the gem, Heather. And she's like, wow, Martin. Like it's like a total sitcom shimmy as she walks off and winked to the camera. I was like, wow, Heather, how are you not working? You are just a fucking natural. It's like a B. Arthur over there.
And she does the thing that all the actresses do whenever they're, rented or loaned jewelry that we always see on the behind the scenes stuff. She goes, do I have to give it back? He goes, well, let me talk to Terry. No, seriously, I'm not giving it back. These are mine now. I've decided. They're going to go behind the gate. If you want them, just get by my guard dogs. The challenge is yours.
So she's like, I have such a good relationship with GLAAD. They love celebrities, and we love them. So many people are with GLAAD as well. Oprah's with GLAAD. I'm basically Oprah. Thank you for coming.
My relationship with GLAAD is almost as good as my relationship with my next door neighbor, Drake, who is a rap artist of some sort, or a cake. I'm not sure. But either way, this is such an incredible organization. It's just a star-studded event. I mean, obviously it is, because television's Heather Dubrow is here. GLAAD has one of the largest platforms, and for Terry and I to be able to support the work that GLAAD does, it just makes me feel like I'm making a difference, and I'm on the right path because I'm near lots of famous people and not next to Gina.
And then Anthony comes over. He's a GLAAD organizer. And he's like, oh, my God. Hi. He's just kind of looking around the room while he's talking to them because they're way bigger people. He's like, hi. Thank you so much for being here. Are you ready? Are you ready to do this? She's like, Oprah's here. He's like, yes, Oprah. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, you're not her. Are we done here? Great. Terry's here. Hi, Terry. Terry, bring in the drink. That's funny. See, it's a party with a purpose. Cheers. I need to get one of those drinks. Okay, you and Meredith are presenting. Okay, where'd you see Oprah again? Great. Point me towards her. That would be good. Okay.
If Oprah is here and I am here, this basically makes me Meghan Markle. So then Anthony just like leaves, and Heather and Terry are talking, and he's like, I am so proud of you. I really am. And I am so proud of us, and I'm proud of our family, and I'm proud of the HD network available on Mark Cuban TV.
She's like, I'm so proud of us for being such amazing people with homosexuals. We're helping our children in the world, a world that's a little better and more inclusive for them because of us. And he's like, the problem, honestly, is just, they're just so accepted in our family. Like, they don't even have to feel what it's really like for kids out there. Yeah, in every sense of the word, And she's like, yeah, they don't know anything but love and support. Thankfully, they don't know what it's like to be poor and gay.
Sometimes I just have to say I'm so glad I did such an amazing job being a great mother that it's hard to know they're going to have to go out in the world where there won't be as many children who are raised by as good mothers. And how are they going to interact with people who come from only okay parents?
I'm not worried about them interacting with straight people, and I'm not worried about them interacting with other gays. I'm worried about them interacting with capital One gays.
I'm just so scared for that moment when they're going to have to meet the children from my castmates. I mean, they're just so poor. Are they going to be able to socialize?
I just want to teach these gays that there are no limits to who you can be in this world, but there are credit limits. I'm so sorry for that. My kids will not be hanging out with you. Okay, thank you. I've just come here to ask the poor gays to please leave my children alone.
So now we go to the actual award show, and Heather walks out with Meredith Marks, and Heather's like, hello, audience members and Oprah. As the mother of 3 queer kids and the owner of several high-limit credit cards, I want to build a world healthy, happy, and safe from attack. I'm literally building a world. It should be ready in about 6 years. It will be documented on the HD network.
And Meredith's like, and I would like to see LGBTQ plus people bathed in love. I love boobs.
And Alexis is in the audience because I think that Heather invited her or something like that. So they give their awards, and then they have like an auction over champagne. And I guess Heather and Terry spend $6,500 on champagne, and Heather's like, that's the most expensive bottle of Veuve Clicquot in the world, and I'm going to enjoy it so much. I'm just going to drink it in front of Gina and just watch her eyes just turn into enormous saucers.
Fucking Heather, even at the GLAAD Awards, surrounded by other rich and famous people. I got the most expensive bottle of Veuve. God, congratulations, Heather. Jesus Christ, you sad, sad woman. Okay, so let's go over to Katie and her daughter, Callie.
Yeah, so Katie's...
That's all I had to say. I was like, that's all I have to say. Take it away.
Children, close your eyes. Bird box yourselves. There's poor children coming on screen. Don't look. Mama will tell you when it's safe to look at the television again.
So they're shopping, basically. They're going to go shopping. And, no, they're not going shopping. They're going to a candle bar called Twin Flames.
Yeah, it's going to be a candle making scene.
I actually knew those kids. I met them at the LGBTQ plus prom. Very, very cute.
LGBTQ candles. So Callie and Katie...
candles.
So there's a candle barista, and she's like, hello, welcome to Twin Flames Candle Bar. Are you going to here for candle making class? And then Tamara and her daughter Sophia come in. So it's like a play date. It's like mom and daughter play dates. And
you're like, oh my God, you have a depressed child? I have a depressed child. We should have a depression date. Our children should just get together and be sad. How about that?
That's great, Bats. Let's go to a place they can learn to start shit on fire.
Yeah, this candle barista, she's like, okay, guys, everyone's going to get a candle card, and then you'll choose a vessel, and then you'll go into that vessel, and
I'll be demonic and ruin their lives.
No, Satan, stand back, Tamara, okay? Not a human vessel, a glass. Okay, we're talking about pouring wax.
Damn it.
So they're just like talking, They're making their candles. Kaylee's talking about this guy that she was dating, and basically Kaylee's like really hard on men because of her relationship with her dad. Because he was really hard on them, and so like now Kaylee's hard on guys. And then they're just.
I loved this. Katie said, definitely. She's like, I dumped him immediately because he said he loved me right away, which I don't trust, and then he tried to gaslight me into saying it back. And then he gave me COVID. And Tamara's like,
And then that CD, those never go away. By the way, take out that bliss text from my past.
and Callie is like, the second a man's mean to me, I'm out of there, which I liked. I wish I could be like that.
Good.
I'm literally not like that. I'm like, oh my God, maybe he likes me. He wouldn't be mean if he didn't care, right? Is that the same?
So Katie talks about how it's like really hard 4 times a year to send her, like her son visits 4 times a year, and that also means that 4 times a year she has to put him on a plane and fly him back to Georgia, and that's like really hard. Feels unnatural for her to say goodbye to her son like that, but she just knows it makes him happy, and she just tries to remind herself whatever makes him happy is what matters the most.
I just hate driving to the airport. I mean, if this was me as the mom, I'd be like, it is so sad. He comes to see me 4 times a year, and 4 times a year, I have to get him an Uber to the airport. And it just breaks my heart every time I see him get into that Uber. I'm not taking you to the airport 4 times a year. You want to live with your dad? You can drive to fucking LAX alone. How about that? I'm not going.
That kid already has a tortured existence if he has to commute back and forth between LAX and the Atlanta airport. 2 nightmares of airports.
Well, I guess Orange County has its own airport, right? There wouldn't be LAX.
John Wayne Airport or something like that.
Oh, God.
You actually get on a flying horse and then
That's
you
all
have to
we need.
lasso your cocktail.
Pardon her. Okay, so then Tamara's like,
Yeah, I get it. Because Simon was a terrible dad.
and Sophia gives her speech. She's like, because Tamara's like,
Yeah, Sophia don't want to get married, right, Sophia? I mean, that's stupid. Maybe she'll change her mind one day.
and Sophia's like, no, I won't. Because, like, it's really irresponsible to bring kids into this world just because you're married or you're in love or you think it's going to save your marriage or something like that. And Tamara's like,
Oh, yeah, not talking about me, right? She's talking about stupid people.
Like, no,
like-
I'm talking about my niece. So
and she's like, yeah, I mean, you should have to want kids like 100%. There's no like 50% parenting, And Tamara's like,
Yeah, not talking about me. By the way, we're at 49%. Wrap it up. Mama's got a date. Mama's got a friend date.
hi, this is Television's Heather Dubrow. I just want to interrupt this conversation at this whatever wax thing you guys are doing. I just want to say, I agree. You need to want kids in order to have the kids. Also, you should be very wealthy.
yeah.
That's
Exactly.
it. Goodbye.
Here's how to raise children. I'm going to let my nanny take this one. And she better be holding tissue paper.
First of all, you need to have a wall where you can install their genetic code into a tree mural.
Oh, yeah, the trade barrel. Some rich person who bought that house for $9 million is like, wow, I wonder, honey, one of our neighbors said that wall represents Heather Dubrow's unfertilized eggs.
Why is it that whenever I walk by that wall, it goes, I'll never tell?
So Sophia kind of tells off her mom, but Tamara doesn't really get it at all, which is really funny. She's like,
Yeah, she's talking about Simon. Simon sucks. Didn't you hear it? Because Simon's a terrible parent,
and she's like, yeah, I mean, getting a kid, it's not like getting a dog or getting a cat. Tamara's like,
That's right. Hey, Sophia, go get the rope. Go get it. Go get it. So good. Look, just bring it back. Kids, am I right?
So then they make their candles. So then meanwhile, elsewhere in the world, Shannon and Vicky hit the road for their live show. So I think that they're headed to St. Louis or they're on the way, and Vicky's like, wow, we're like selling out shows like we're Adele. Adele seems to be her only comparison for this entire episode.
she's really into Adele suddenly. I think Vicky just discovered Adele.
I know. She's like, who's this lady? This lady, she got a job and she sings really well. So they're in St. Louis and they're being wacky. They're kind of like trying to sell us that their comic energy is great without Tamara. It's like Shannon, if you open the door, you got to put your key in the door to open it. It's wacky. I think, I thought this was a credit card. That's a door key. Oh, that's a key. That's in the shape of a card. What? How do you even use a doorknob? This is wild.
Shannon, you're not supposed to put your suitcase on the ground and then you walk over that. You're just supposed to walk into the door. Well, I'm falling over a suitcase. Whoa. So you're so hilarious. You're even laughing in clown music.
You know who else uses a key card at a hotel? Adele. Oh my God, that rhymes. We should work that into the show. Doug, put that in the show.
So Shannon's like,
Oh gosh, just being on the road with Vicky, it's just fun. It really is. It's a way for me to get out of Orange County and feel like I'm living my life a little bit.
What is today? Is it Thursday? Oh my God, we're so wacky. Don't even know what day of the week is. It's like we're Adele looking at a calendar.
so now they've got hoodies with their face on them and stuff, which is really cute. And then now they are practicing tap dancing. And Shannon's like, which one is this one called again? Shuffle ball heel, shuffle ball heel, shuffle ball heel, shuffle ball heel, shuffle ball what? Heel shuffle ball, ball shuffle what? Pens and pencils and what?
Shuffle ball heel. Am I dancing or am I barking orders to Archie? Get it? Oh God. Oh, it's so much comic material for our audience. I'm really so happy right now.
Yeah. So Vicky's like, I love the tap shoe idea. I think we're incorporating such really good things as Chesapeake quit. It's just so happy. We're so happy. Look at us. Shannon's like,
Happy.
It's gonna work.
Happy.
I never thought I'd be sitting here saying, thank goodness Tamara dropped out, but because it's a different show without her. You know what I like about our shows now that Tamara's not in it is that it's not all laughter, because that's like a little one note. Instead, it's like occasional laughs and like a cough and some scattered applause, and you have time to think about the decisions in your life that led you to this. Doing a dog and pony show at random comedy clubs across America.
Tamara was involved in this show. We didn't really have time to concentrate on the sound of the butterscotches being unwrapped in the second row. Really?
It's nice because now we get to hear people order their cocktails that they say they apparently need to get through our show. So that's nice when people say that.
Well, we're not completely well received by everyone.
cut to one night in the audience in Phoenix.
You suck, bitch. You suck. All of you suck. Ain't no telling up there, bitches.
Why is that lady wearing a Groucho Marx mustache and glasses?
Why is that woman with a mustache sitting on top of a garbage can? You suck.
But you know what? Like we think about it, we say, hey, is this too long? Is this too slow? Were people bored at this part? Why were people booing when we were singing Adele songs? Why are we singing Adele songs? Why is Vicky insisting that we sing Adele songs? It's a work in progress.
So they get out of their car, and Shannon's like,
Why is the car stopping? What, are we being pulled over? What is going on?
He's like, you're at your venue, ma'am.
Oh. That was arrest humor. I've been arrested. That was so fun. What's your number? I'll send you a picture.
Oh, this driver's amazing. He didn't even clip the side of the building. So, they go in and, it's the Shannon and Vicky show. And then someone's like, Vicky, we're ready to whoop it up. And they're all excited and they go into the green room and everything. And then Vicky orders a tequila and soda. And Shannon's like, do you just have like a Tito's and Grey Goose, whatever? So just whatever. Just put whatever. You can put kerosene with it. I don't care. As long as I have Tito's. I just really need some Tito's right now.
So now they have this new bit that they need to try out, which is the slingshot. Okay. And they're going to basically be slingshotting T-shirts at people in a very small space. And Vicky's like, you know what? We're doing this because like I was at Adele's concert and she did this with a big, powerful gun and nobody got hurt. So, I thought that's good. Vicky, that's a stadium. Okay.
You work in insurance. Okay.
You're in a 15-person room. You can't slingshot at people's head.
You can't. People at the Adele show are not all sitting at tables full of glassware.
I just like this. She's like, Adele did it, so we did it too.
She's like, all right, where can we put up our giant LCD screens?
Yeah.
Adele had them.
Chippatrods.
Pyro? Can we get Pyro in here?
Yeah. So they're trying to do it, but it's kind of a big fail. And one of the guys on the crew is like, "You guys are going to end up killing someone. Well, they'll die with a Vicky logo splatted on their face. Lucky them. Lucky them."
Well, luckily for them, when they walk in the door, we're going to sign them up automatically to an insurance policy. So if they die, everyone's set. They're covered.
Well, Vicky, did this trick work for Adele? You know what? Honestly, I don't know. I got kicked out because she was singing Fire in the Rain. And I said, Fire in the Rain, you better be insured because if there's a fire still going in the rain, that means it's a kerosene fire or something. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. Get insurance. Get insurance, Adele. I thought you have insurance.
I don't really remember how the T-shirt bit was received by Adele because one moment she was pulling it out, and the next moment I felt a hard thud against my head, and I woke up in a hospital 2 miles away. So I don't really know, but I think people liked it.
Congratulations, you've reached the end of part 1 of a 2-part recap. For part 2, go look for the recap that says part 2.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know Your Worth with Jason Kurth.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's our favorite streamer, Caroline Peacock.
She's a total knockout. It's Katie Manock. Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. Let's get feely with Maggie Sheely. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
Cast a Spell with Shannon Spellman. The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Ring that bell for Rachel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.